What's up, Texas wrestling fans? This is Jay Williams, your hashtag certified mark, and it is currently Saturday, February 9th, 2019, and you know what that means, other than I'm a week late on my last MPX review? It means that tonight at Controlled Chaos marks 1 year, one full year of your mark being involved in the Texas indie wrestling business. And let me tell you, it's been a heck of a year. I've had peaks and valleys, but let me tell you, I'm repeating myself. It's just kind of an emotional thing for me. I wouldn't give any of it up. I loved every minute of it. I loved the emotional highs, the anger, marking out. As always, it's just been a great year. And I can't wait for another one to happen. Well, other than that, we got a long video ahead of us as I'm going to do a review, a quick update on a situation at another promotion, and, well, I'm going to talk about tonight as well. Well, last week we saw the semifinals and finals of the MPX Fight Win Survive tournament, in which we decided the number one contender for the MPX championship at the Texas Rumble to take on Scott McKenzie. And wow, that was a heck of a match. A set of matches. Oh man, it started out with Jason Silver taking on the greatest human being alive, Stephen Kirby, in a bag of tacks match. And they didn't just have tacks, they had Legos too. Now, I've always said that tacks are bad, but Legos are worse, because you know what? Tacks are less likely to take a chunk of you out. Ow. They mixed the two together, they rolled through it, they slammed into it. Stephen Kirby even pulled off a superplex onto Jason Silver onto the tacks, and I hurt for both of them when I saw that. Oh, ow. But in the end, the Immortal was able to do a quick roll-up and, package up the greatest human being alive for the win and move on to the finals. Oh, jeez. I'm really glad that the security team was able to get everything out of there rather than, have somebody find it the hard way. But, ow. Next up, we had Michael Schaefer taking on the Concrete Cowboy Nate Collins in a kendo stick match, Singapore cane match, however you want to call it. That's what it's always been called to me. And, well, Schaefer tried to be the true Kingsman and, basically say, we don't need these. We're competitors. We're wrestlers. We don't need these to fight. And for a bit, that was the case. They actually had a really good match together. And then Schaefer started losing and, of course, went and got the canes. Big surprise, right? But in the end, as much as they beat on each other with the Singapore canes, and Nate, you really got to lean into those hits more, man. It was Schaefer that got the umbrella bomb off onto the Concrete Cowboy and got the pin, moving on to the finals. The final match itself was, well, we'll get to that. Later on, we also had a Rumble qualifier match in which Fuego del Sol took on CJ Ward, and well, it was great to see Fuego back in the ring, and Fire and Ice, man, that was a heck of a match to watch. I mean, CJ pulled out all the stops, and, well, almost all the stops, if you know what I mean. But in the end, it was Fuego who was hot and will be in the Rumble, and that is going to be awesome. We also had another Rumble qualifier match in which in which the winner of the match would get space number 30, and the loser would get nothing. As in, they would not be in the match at all. And, well, considering who all was in it, it was hard to decide who I wanted to win. We had both members of Team Action, Magnum RL and Richter 5-0, taking on Robert Paul Fetterman Jr. and Baby D. It was a heck of a match. For a while, it seemed like Team Action wasn't going to be facing each other, but it's every man for himself, and they took each other on. But in the end, Baby D was able to get a TKO off onto Robert Paul Fetterman and got the pin, meaning that Baby D will be entering at spot number 30 in the Texas Rumble next week. Whereas Fetterman, well, After the match, Aller lost his mind at him. It was kind of hard to watch. He went off on Fetterman, saying that he had tried, and he told him that he was ready, and he just lied to him. And so, because of that, creative has nothing for Robert Paul Fetterman Jr. Fine. I'm good with that. I didn't like Robert Paul Fetterman Jr. anyway. You want to kick him out? That's great. Because you know what? We got something better out of it. Later on that night, we saw Dave Sagan taking on James Johnson, the king of the Texas Cruiserweights, in his first defense of the MPX Prospect title. Dave's first defense of the MPX Prospect title. And Aller tried to get involved, but a mystery man in a gas mask and a kilt came out and stopped Aller from getting involved, proving once and for all, Punk's not dead. Good to see you back, Zero. Glad to have you. Then we also had a match between BC and Angel Omega that was, I hate to say it, it was kind of forgettable. I mean, I love BC, but the match was forgettable because the most memorable part of that match was Ryan Remington returning after a long time out, in which he announced himself rather violently to be the first entrant into the Texas Rumble. This happened before the 2 qualifier matches, so you can tell that it's been a bit. And then, of course, we had the main event, a lumberjack strap match, in which season ticket holders got to be around the ring with belts. Austin, you're welcome. And this match was rather intense to watch. Schaefer and Silver were both understandably tired, but Silver seemed to have less of an effect on. I mean, he even took those straps and wanted more pain. In the end, he basically just took off Schaefer's head and splashed him for the win. And yeah, he'll be our number 1 contender, but I gotta say, I know everyone's high on this new Savage Silver, but I don't know, it's got me worried. What's happening to our Immortal? So yeah, that's gonna be rather heck of a match for the Rumble. I mean, we've seen Scott McKenzie versus Jason Silver before, but not like this. Both men are changed. This new version of them, I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to watch, but it's gonna be a train wreck. So that was MPX Fight Win Survive Night 2. Before I get on to what's going on tonight, I'm going to address something that happened last night. I wasn't able to make it to Heartbreak Hell for DFW All-Pro last night, but I saw the most important thing that happened, and kind of breaks my heart. The Crew took on the United Familia Camacho. Sorry, guys. United Familia Camacho in a hell and back match in which they had no covers on the wires, no covers on the turnbuckles, and no mat on the boards of the ring. Now, I don't know if you've ever taken a hit or a fall on one of those. That hurts. There is no way that doesn't hurt. Oh, jeez. So, without the minuscule protection that the wrestlers usually get, I don't envy any of those guys, especially if they happen to take any kind of splash or something like that from Angel. But it seems that despite the fact that the Crew fought with all their hearts, in the end, things turned for the worse for them. Nastico turned on them. Lou, Gotti Sterrett, turned on them. Kate, well, I can't say she turned on them, but, you know, still, something dark has happened. Nastico has turned on the Crew. The Crew is gone from All-Pro. And now the cartel seeking to take over All-Pro. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. So tonight's actually going to be a heck of a match. I mean, we're a week away from the Texas Rumble, but that doesn't mean things can't change before then. We have another qualifier match of sorts for the Rumble, in which Frankie Fisher, Kenny Steele, and Aaron Sykes will be taking each other on, with the loser of the match getting the number 1 spot. You know, last week you had the number 30 spot. This week you've got the number 1 spot, the much coveted versus the much despised. But you know what? Considering all 3 of these guys and who they are and what they can do, I think no matter who wins, who loses, you know, they can go the distance. But we'll see how that goes, right? I mean, honestly, Aaron Sykes has been on an undefeated streak since his first loss against Byron Anthos at his very first appearance. Ever since then, he has just been completely on fire. Kenny Steele, former MPX champion, former 3-time MPX prospect champion, and just, I mean, come on, it's the infamous Kenny Steele. What do you can't count him out. And of course, there's the flying asshole Frankie Fisher, who is on a warpath, especially after Aller screwed him again. I think whether he wins or loses, I don't think it's going to stop him. I've almost got him as my pick for the Texas Rumble. Let me put it that way. But we'll find that out. Then the Demon of Devastation returns after not being there last week for the tournament, and he takes on the Madman Sky Dela Cremosa. And, ooh, Devastation versus Extreme Violence. I'm going to give this one to Hardakis because, well, it's Hardakis, but just, oh, this is going to be an intense match to watch, you know? Now, I gotta say, this next match has actually got me really, really hyped because it's Dave Sagan taking on Steve DeMarco. If you watched PCW back in the day, you know who he is. Steve DeMarco for his second MPX Prospect Championship defense. You know, after his win against James Johnson last week, he's only got 3 more to go, but this is going to be a heck of a match. I mean, I haven't seen Steve since I watched PCW on TV back in the day. It's just, yeah, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that match. We've also got the new Jason Silver, a demon in his own right, taking on Dexter Hardaway. And like I said before, Dex, I'll shed a tear at your funeral because I like you. But no mortal is going to be able to stand up to this at this point. I don't think. I don't like where it's going, but that's the truth. It's just... And we also have Baby D taking on Scott McKenzie since she won the number 30 spot. Aller obviously wasn't very happy with that. I mean, he kind of waffles back and forth as to whether he likes her or not, but, you know, he wants to show her what she's in for if she wins the Texas Rumble. So she's going to be taking on the Master of the DDT and the MPX champion, which of course means she's going to be taking on a lot more than that. I think she can do it. I think she's got it, especially since, you know, there are people out there who've got a bone to pick with creative. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. My support's behind Baby D as always. All right. Well, for all of last week's action, you can, of course, check it out on network.mpxwrestling.com. $9.99 a month. You get your first week free with a new account. And, of course, if you are a season ticket holder for the MPX live shows, you get the network for free. And, whew, let me tell you guys, this last couple of weeks has been a little hard for me. I know I have been really, really late or not at all there for a lot of my reviews, but it's been kind of tough. You know, money is a problem. So, if you want to help out, of course, you know, as always, we have a Patreon. Put the link down below. And, well, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll be able to keep this stuff coming for you. As always, I am your #certified Mark. I'm sorry for the extra long video this week, and I'm pretty sure I rambled and such in places. And, well, keep it kayfabe, wrestling fans. Mark out.